Well, hi and welcome to Jim's Radio Shop, where I'm continuing to work on this Fleetwood record player, and I think I'm reaching the conclusion that there is a badly bent arm inside that is making the mechanism not function right. And I think it's responsible for another effect, which is the tone arm does not swing free when it's over the record. You can feel that it's binding against something. I think it's the bent piece of metal. And the unfortunate conclusion I'm coming to is I have to disassemble this to a large degree in order to get at the problem area. What I'm curious about is, can I do some kind of partial assembly? Can I get a major component off of it that'll give me enough visibility? And I'm pretty sure the answer is absolutely not. Yeah. I don't see any way to disassemble this easily. Okay, another alternative. Try to bend the piece back into shape without... Oh my! Okay, now I see something. Okay, let's see if I can get this on camera here. And that's the piece that's protruding too. Okay. Let's see if I can get this on the camera. Very hard to see. Can't get my camera too close or it won't focus. I need my big magnifying glass, which I misplaced yesterday and have not been able to find it. I must have thoughtlessly set it down. Okay, I'm going to try this crummy magnifying glass here. Sit down for 1 second. Okay, this might help focus. Let's see. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, now how am I going to point to this? It's worth it to me to go through this. And there we are. Okay, I know how to do this. Right in the center of the screen, just past the cogged wheel, you'll see a piece of metal on a bit of an angle, and then it appears to take a sharp turn just past the edge of the cog wheel, right in the center of the photo. And that's a good shot of it. Can I point at it? Right in here. Here. That thing, right there, appears to be severely bent. That elbow there shouldn't be there, and you can't tell maybe in the video, but that's the piece that's protruding. Well, let's see if we can. We'll just do one of these. A little more light. Take away the magnifying glass. And it's this piece. This piece I've been suspicious of all along. This piece should actually be much further down. Now, wow, you can really see that. Let's get the magnifying glass going again here. Yeah, that's me. More to go. So, regardless of my ability to get a shot on camera here, I have to figure out how to bend that piece back. And even further up in the turntable, it's bent. And of course, raises the question, well, why did that happen? Why wouldn't it just happen again? And I don't have the easy answer for that. So, first of all, how can that be down to the ground? There's no room for it. Where did it actually come from? Could it be it's just knocked way out of position? Now that's kind of interesting. I see two pins. And I think that thing is supposed to be between those pins. What else are those pins for? They're just guides for this piece of metal. Okay, let's see if we can move it into that position. I'm sorry you can't really see what I'm doing here. I can barely see what I'm doing. So I would bring it up this way. A little further. How do you like that? Did everybody hear that nice pleasant snap? You know what? The piece doesn't look bent anymore. It's loose the way it's supposed to be. You know what would drive it up there? Turning the platter backwards. Maybe the bottom rule is, you have a turntable like this. In many cases, that piece is retracted and out of the way. You can spin the platter backwards. But in some cases, if the turntable is in a state of its automatic operation, that piece of metal may be vulnerable to a reversing of the platter. And I could see the designers and builders of this going ahead with that on the belief that the platter will be driven by the motor in the other direction. It can't go backwards. So exactly why this one would have gone backwards? Pull the plug out with the mechanism in the wrong position and then spin it by hand backwards. You know, it could be something as simple as that. It could just be a kid reaching in and just playing with it. It could easily be that. Well, the question is, have I just fixed this thing or not? Well, let's take a look and see. There's a lot of fiddling around to figure that out. Just put this kind of down temporarily here. So there's... Okay, now there's the piece in its proper position. Oh, see how easy it was to move it away? There, you see? See what it does? It appears just as the tone arm. Let's see, you can see both these things happen here. Just as the tone arm swings into the end of the record position, right here, it pops out. So at that point, the spinning platter brings its little trigger arm around, right? This piece here, strikes that bar. The bar is pushed back. There it goes. Hey, you know what? I think this is going to work. Man alive. They've had so much trouble working on these mechanisms. So the arm is retracted away. The little trigger arm is away, so I can't damage it. he says. What happened there? Oh, I know what happened. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Sometimes the drive idler wheel gets caught on the rim when you're putting it back. You have to push the drive wheel away from it. So. Well, let's give it a go. Maybe this time I'll even put on a record. Once again, it's time for Disco Heat. What'll it be this time, Jim? The Wonder Woman theme. That's the second song on here, but actually it's going to try to play the first song, so we'll let it do its own thing. Set to 33. Power's plugged in. Turn on full power. Okay, so it was in run mode. Are you ready? Push the reject button. And let's try that again. Reject. Okay, things weren't as simple as I had hoped, but you notice that clicking is gone. So I'm going to put the record down by hand. Let's play a little. Oh, see that? That tone arm is still pinched somehow. So it's just going to play one groove. And you know, it's a disco record. Maybe that's a good thing. So I'll pretend to move it over. Let's see what happens. So that sound, well, our job is not done. Ooey on that. But we're one step ahead. One big step ahead. So the triggering mechanism is triggering. The rest of the mechanism is not following along. The reject button isn't causing anything to operate either. None of it. Well, one down and who knows what left. But I'm feeling a little more positive about the situation. So we still have two problems. One is the mechanism is not being properly triggered still, and the tone arm isn't even loose enough that you could play a record by hand anyway. The tone arm is still bunged up. I'm not sure bung is a technical term, but it seemed to fit the situation here. So we're going to take this guy off. And, well, interestingly enough, the mechanism drive wheel, look at that, the mechanism drive wheel is engaged with the motor right now. And I believe that's what happens when when this trigger is triggered. It should bring the drive wheel into contact, and then the mechanism down under here, it's a great big geared wheel here, will turn and operate all the different functions. Why is the drive wheel not driving anything? So I think I saw there was a gear under here that geared into another gear and into another gear. Let's take a look at those gears. Because I think this is turning almost free here. And maybe it's supposed to turn free. I don't know. This is all down at the bottom here. It's a little harder for me to see. But yeah, I can see that. Wait a minute. Something's on the move. Not sure what that is. Let's turn this, if the wires will allow it. The wires will not allow it. Let's turn it around this way. Let's go this way with it. Around she goes. The wires aren't long enough. Let's stop here and see if we can see some stuff right here. Make sure nothing's getting damaged. Isn't this annoying? There we go. And I'm going to move you right around to the other side here. Red shirt here. Oh, I've only got a few more minutes and then I've got to run. So we see now this piece is moving its full length. And that's pretty good. Except, who isn't? So this wheel, this big cogged wheel here, hoping you can see this, this great big cogged wheel here, which is what operates the mechanism with various things. I think that just turned off. This guy is failing to engage with the drive mechanism itself. A little awkward for me, so there we go. What happened that it didn't do that before? Okay, hold on, something's changed. Something's changed. Let's flip it back. I wonder if some of these mechanisms have irrational positions. It absolutely should never happen during the normal operation of the machine, but if you get it there, then the machine won't work right anymore. I gotta put the whole thing back together here. Well, I shouldn't make it sound like it's that big a deal. It's not. There we are. Quick, disco heat. A good song on here is a lot of dance songs here. Come on, dance, dance. Dancing in my feet, or Fancy Dancer. Okay. Okay, I don't want to touch anything. Let's just power it up again. It's off. Remember before, when I powered it up, it came on each time. So we will now start it. And I pushed reject right away. I heard the reject trigger. Let's hear it again. No, there it goes. It's kind of weird. But no rejection happening. And I'm afraid I'm done for now. So that's my that's as far as I can get. One step ahead. Still got a few more issues to hunt down before we really get a chance to listen to the Disco Heat record. So, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.